everybody, this is Show here. Now, whenever we last left off, Midoriya has murdered a Green Lantern, corrupting and taking their ring. Umbrax wanting to test something. Now he knows the answer to it. He has infected a ring with ultraviolet light, his corp. He'll be holding on to this for a little while. It may provide useful. Along with that, the Justice League back on Earth is investigating this coincidence, with a Red Lantern being spotted in Japan. Along with the fact that it was also reported to have been flying around earlier. Batman is investigating the scene, finding this to be a bit odd. Most of the bodies are, well, butchered to say the least. From going over the remains, he can deduce that they were dead long before the other victim, the one that was bludgeoned by this young girl. Along with that, if she had a lantern ring, why wasn't she already wearing it? Especially the Red Lanterns. Something isn't right about the scenario. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan, he is saying that things will be perfectly fine, Bruce. In fact, well, he believes that she'll be on the Red Lantern homeworld. They'll know where to find her. They can bring her back to Earth and at least try and get this explained. Yeah, Hal, sure. Let us have a teenage girl run around with one of the most powerful objects in the universe. You know, because they only hand those out if you show great signs of them. Let alone that red ring. In fact, weren't you a Red Lantern before, Hal? Well, yeah, but that was different. How was it? Well, first off, little tip. Red Lanterns, their hearts explode after they put on the ring, so they can't take it off. Really? Well, that just put a hole in all my evidence then. What do you mean? Well, some of these bodies have wounds in them before they found her. They do not correspond with the bats. And from what they said, she was normal, up until she was at that jail cell. That's whenever she apparently put this thing on, and flew away. What? Wait, that doesn't... Okay, maybe you're onto something, Bruce. Of course I am, I'm Batman. Now, let us cut you out in space. We have Midoriya. He is beginning to hunt down and destroy more and more planets, butchering and slaughtering countless people, along with actually trying to get the attention of another Green Lantern. Umbrax wants to try and broadcast a signal. Now, Umbrax is just letting Midoriya's darker side take the light. He is just allowing Midoriya's pent-up emotions to manifest as pure rage, pure destruction, as he begins to just tear the city apart, dismantling their military and using constructs to just crush everything. Umbrax being a bit impressed, whenever Midoriya does just create large choppers and tanks, fighting this city with his own army of creations, along with him basically just wielding 2 giant miniguns, just beginning to fire upon everyone in front of his path. Midoriya just helpless and watching. Whenever the whenever the Green Lantern does show up, they would have been a bit confused. Midoriya immediately just throwing his hand up and blasting directly at this lantern, actually being able to get a solid hit in, as he just creates fighter jets and more military weaponry. as it just begins to bash into and hit this lantern, then recovering and trying to fight back with their own technology, their own ring, creating constructs of his military on his planets and responding back. The planet watching as this brutal battle commences. The two lanterns getting into a struggle and fighting through buildings. Until eventually, since Midoriya doesn't play fair, he would have created another sword, being able to actually slash off this lantern's hand, grabbing it and immediately just bring his own ring directly to their face. It just pronouncing die as it blasts the lantern with pure motion. And it would go falling back down to the planet, their constructs breaking. As this ring would just begin to start asking for verification. Owner of the ring, deceased. Looking for new lantern. Seeking willpower. Now, Midoriya would just do one thing. As Umbrex just begins to manipulate the ring, changing it in, looking into its audio settings. Using every pre-recorded part of this lantern's voice and creating a fake distress signal. As whenever he does let go of the ring, it would just begin to broadcast a signal flying through space. As the signal would just correspond like this. Green Lantern, Jessica Drew, seeking assistance, need backup, planets in danger, unknown threats, send help. Now, whenever this ring does get back to Oa, they would have been a bit more surprised. Seeing this request, why does a veteran lantern want a rookie? Well, she is an Earthling. Well, as one of the other Guardians would just say, it does make sense. Jessica Drew is their newest lantern. She is fresh out of training, yes, but she did correspond well to multiple willpower, along with her other friends. Besides, the human lanterns usually do not travel in small groups. You also do have Kyle Rayner and Hal Jordan. I believe that they will be the best ones to send. Now, Jessica Drew is at home, as her ring would begin to at least start flashing, flying over to her and her grabbing it out of midair, slipping it on as her outfit would just come on, and her eye would just glow, as she hears the signal request, finding this to be a bit odd. It's very late at night, and from the Justice League meeting, well, yeah, I guess I can just take care of this on my own. Her just heading out, unaware of this lantern's death. Back on the planet, Midoriya is just doing one more thing. Throwing out both of his hands and just beginning to blast away at them more. Tearing it apart as he begins to soak up all of the negative emotions of this planet and their people. Getting power drunk off of this, and feeling it all. This is divine. Now, Midoriya is just asking a question. Why are you calling for more lanterns? Why an Earthling? Oh no, that was you. What? You called for them. I just put out the request for a lantern. I was going to let you specify. To be honest, it seems kind of personal, doesn't it? Jessica Drew took your ring, and you want it back, don't you? Well, yes, I do, but you see, there it is. Not so pure in there, are you, kid? Well, after we take her down, we're heading straight for Oa. Or, well, I believe Hmm. The Red Lantern, or Red Lantern, Midori is just looking up into the air and seeing the Green Lantern, then beginning to enter the atmosphere. Umbrex is saying that after they take this lantern down, they're going to head for another person. They're on my personal hit list. They use my power without me knowing about it. Midoriya making a note of that. So you can jailbreak him. Interesting. No. This lantern would be a bit more surprised, as they do see the assailants and Midoriya just fly off, heading straight for the Red Lantern homeworlds. As let's cut over there. Jiro is still confused, trying to at least wipe away this blood. Well, trying to get an explanation. Meeting the other lanterns. Atrocitus doesn't want to talk with her. She's not worthy of his time. While the other ones are at least a bit more friendly. Her being a bit surprised at meeting a house cat that is a Red Lantern. Okay, that is officially the weirdest thing ever. Especially since the cat is from Earth. I believe the cat's name is Dakstar, if I'm not wrong. I need to polish my Green Lanterns, or I need to polish the name of the lanterns anyways. Now, this would be a bit odd. Umbrex is looking up into the air and wondering. This young woman, she found a ring. That is odd. The only other ring they had out there was of their dead ally. So, it stayed stationary until someone with enough rage in their heart manifested. Interesting. No. With that being said, eventually his thought process would have been broken. Whenever there is a weird gleam up in the air, there's something purple moving towards the planet, along with something green chasing it. As whenever they do land, Midoriya would basically be flying straight forwards, flying past the Red Lantern battery, and looking directly at Umbrex, with a sinister smile. As he would turn around and still fly in the same direction, blasting into and actually firing directly at Jessica Cruz, my bad, and trying to take her down. Her going to throw out her own constructs and fight against this guy. He's very fast. How is he able to do this? As this lantern would have done one thing. Midoriya's body and mind, they are still his. So they are using any idea he would come up with. The lantern beginning to get covered in this green light as they form a suit around their body. And a parachute would immediately be deployed, them being jerked backwards and slowing down, blasting straight at Jessica Cruz, with the ring beginning to chase her this time. Atrocitus taking chase, wanting to see exactly who is on his planet. Now, he would be a bit surprised at a Green Lantern, along with this unknown guy, seeing as he just keeps basically blasting away at her and trying to catch her, throwing out his hands and creating chains, being able to grab her by her leg as he smashes her down onto the planet, throwing her through one of the blood pools, as he does begin to create something down there, and throw his hands upwards. Her basically coming out of the blood, covered in it, and restrained. Annoyed and asking exactly who is he. Midoriya floating forwards and just telling her that she took something from him. She took everything from him. What? I don't even know you. That's the worst part. No, this isn't me. This is... You took my ring. You took my spot. In the core. The core? What are you even talking about? Atrocitus finally coming into view. Jessica being surprised to see him, trying to use her ring to actually move it. As soon as Albrecht sees her hand move, he would have restrained her more. Her arm basically beginning to get crushed, and her hand snapping, her beginning to scream. As Atrocitus just watch what is happening, watching as this lantern thing. No, he's never seen this one before. He hates the Green Lanterns. Already off to a good start. Now, that would be whenever Umbrex would just state, or Midori would just state, that she is the worst lantern he's ever seen. All the ones he's fought before, they fought better. You're still an amateur. Green behind the gills. As he would just reach his hand out and take her ring, pulling it off of her finger. Her outfit just disappearing, and the ring just pronouncing error, unknown assailant. Jessica trying to call back the ring, as it at least tries to move and get out of Midoriya's hand. His fingers, as he just stays there holding it. It fighting back until she basically does actually throw out her other hand. And something does happen. Atrocitus would step in, slicing upwards of the construct and cutting off her arm. It falling down to the planet, and her beginning to scream more. Umbrex is looking at this with a sinister smile. Atrocitus not saying a word. As Midoriya smashes the ring, and lets go of it. Her in horror as it just disappears. And the chains being released. Her falling down to the planet. Now, with that happening, Umbrex would just turn directly to Atrocitus. Midoriya taking a deep breath and letting out a good sigh, saying that was at least relaxing. My vendetta is cleared. Now, Midoriya is still screaming inside of his head. Why would you destroy the ring? That was a sector. My sector. Oh, there it is. But no, it's not like that. I just wanted to. Umbrex is speaking to Atrocitus, telling him hello. Now, I know exactly who you are, but do you know who I am? I'm not certain. I would call you friend or foe, but clearly you hate the Greens. Yes. You see, I wish to crush their core and annihilate it, making room for my own. Really. A new core, and what might you be? Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. As he would just bend downwards, saying that he is Umbrax, of the Ultraviolet Lanterns. Now, the rest of the Red Lanterns would come flying up, along with Jiro, still trying to get used to that. As whenever she does see the man, she would see his hair, along with his head. Him coming back up, and having that smile on his face. As Midoriya's eyes do at least dart that direction, and his body at least does try and shift. Umbrex actually fighting back, keeping it in place. Him just saying that they're not here for that now. Atrocitus is kind of confused, looking backwards at the human. You're both humans. So, exactly why are you here? Again, I said I would like to crush the Greens. Their corp has had it for too long, thinking that they are the protectors of the universe. How wrong are they, aren't they? I do know about the manhunters obliterating your sector. Atrocitus, his eyes filling with rage, and going to throw his hand out to Midoriya's throat, as his hand would just come outwards, grabbing Atrocitus's and stopping it. Atrocitus is actually surprised. A human stopping his strike with one hand. So, you have my attention. You want to crush the Marines, but why does that involve us? I am only one lantern. I seek an army, an alliance, if you will. After that, I must deal with something on my own. This vendetta will eat me up inside, and I must deal with it before it gets any worse. Well, you do have my attention. Good. Umbrex releasing control. Midoriya actually being able to look around and move his body. Flying straight to Jiro and asking her exactly is she okay. And pulling her into a hug. Her confused and pushing him backwards. Asking exactly what is he? Who is he? You act like this emotionless killer, but you also act like this? I can't believe you, Izuku. You two know each other. Yes. As I explained before this, well, he is connected to my accident. Oh, this is the human that caused it. Another Red Lantern flying up. Her saying no. In fact, she butchered them. Well, he butchered them. She got to deal with the one directly responsible, though. Although, she wishes she could have done more. Then again, he is also really interesting himself. They both got rings on the same night. So, this alliance is going to be unsteady, as Atrocitus would say. Midoriya, his face turning back to the sinister grin. Umbrex is saying that he will contact him later. In fact, this will be another challenge, as they would fly upwards into space. Umbrex is saying that he knows where his homeworld is, but he must head back to his own. Now, with that being said, Midoriya would just fly straight towards the hidden galaxy. Now, I do believe that that will be a good point to leave this off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night.